laptop. Otherwise,
I
this is all.
I fixed the YouTube thing. We were on 2 Facebook pages. Now we're on Facebook and YouTube. London has been kicked out the door. She's been fired for that one.
Oh no!
Pretty tough to fire. We don't give her any.
I'm gonna make my background a little bit more gaming. I'll give you like 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
In the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah, we fired her in the middle of a pandemic when we don't give her any money anyway.
She's scared off Classy Beard.
It's because it's because of these. Look at that thing. You are in the podcast, Stoddy. Don't feel like you were. You definitely are.
There we go. I made my background a little more gamey.
Nice. It's kind of weird that Funko Pops are synonymous with gaming now. It's crazy.
Yeah,
they're just
these
around.
are actually. I have almost all of the Dungeons and Dragons Funko Pops, and
is that like American Final Fantasy? I'm just kidding. How dare I?
Yeah, you know
what? How dare I?
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Okay, we all ready, y'all?
Yeah.
I'm gonna give the clap for sound casting network. 3, 2, 1. Maniacs! This is episode 91. 91. That is
how old I am now.
It is so close to triple digits. We are Soundcasting Network's very own video game podcast where your argument is
invalid.
Thank you. We are coming to you from not Studio 2 and 2, but that is where our heart is. And that's actually where probably a beer or two are still waiting for us. Am I right?
So many months later.
Studio
Very
2 and 2
now.
Yeah. South Lake Union, Seattle, Washington, USA, Earth, Solar System, Milky Way.
Oh man, did I come to the wrong planet? Oh darn.
Yeah, you were at the Soundcasting Network Salt Tier on planet Zarmak.
Oh, Zarmak.
Totally
Zarmak's good. It's got good grass, so I heard.
You were going to the one on the original Earth, but we all died in 2012 because of the hydrogen collider.
And
now we're in a parallel dimension.
No, we died because of the drinking I did with the PBC. That's why I died 100%. But in this alternate the alternate universe that you accidentally went to had a good version of Far Cry.
Hey, Blood Dragon is good.
Blood Dragon is solid.
That's a good one. That one's really good.
Not as good as Fallout, right? Right? Saverings? Best game ever.
Fallout 76.
76, best game ever.
Greatest game
Maniacs. Thank you for joining us. We're on the tail end of September here in the finest year to ever affect our hearts, 2020.
Star Wars Squadrons.
Happy fall. It's autumn.
I know, it's autumn. And we are still, thanks to Lauren and New Belgium, sponsored by I missed Voodoo Ranger IPA. Everybody, that is a B Corp certified and employee owned Indian pale ales. They're fantastic. Thank you, Sage Bell.
Sage is like, this is my box. I have already drinking all of the contents inside.
Yeah, and
the spice pumpkin is the bomb.
I know we gotta make a little post because no longer does 1985 rule our hearts and stomachs. A new kid is that is definitely the correct picture for 2020.
How did you guys know where I live?
It's my house. I don't want the viewers to know about my address.
That's everywhere though.
Everyone lives in this nice big dumpster that is all on fire.
All on fire. Floating down a river. Wow.
Goodness gracious. But this is a fantastic week because we have a guest. So we're going to introduce the guest last and go around the table. I will start, I guess, the table that we're on. I am Loud and Brown. I am at Loud and Brown on Instagram and Twitter. I am Gross Steph with a PH on Steam, which is basically my Tekken box, and on PS4, where I've played several games. It's probably going to go back to Steam pretty soon. I think me and the anti-social gamers are going to get together and maybe play Shovel Knight or something like that. Not Shovel Knight, Spelunky.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna do some Spelunky.
Oh, I
And it's
love
kind of weird
Spelunky.
because everybody's like,
man,
"Oh, it's
Spelunky
cute.
makes
You
me
should
cry.
stream it." I'm like, they
It's
would
too much
never.
stress.
That's not who these people are. They're antisocial gamers, and they're some of my dearest friends. And anyway, that's what I've been playing this week. I will move to the other melanated individual in the. Oh,
Me? Oh,
is that your Diane Johnson from Blackish?
I know of that show.
Oh man, it's great.
I know of that show. Yes, this
It's
is the
too-
save rings. ... You got to say the whole thing. It's good to be back. What have I been playing? I've been playing. Surprise, surprise. I played a little bit of Stellaris, just a little.
Just
Nice.
a little, but
Good
I'm
game.
waiting for the other surprise. Have you been?
Of flight simulator.
Yeah.
No, I have not really played that too much.
Now that there's no smoke, you don't care?
Well, there was also an update for it, so I wanted to see if that improved performance, which it did a little bit. I'm kind of sitting back on that game because we did get news this week on when the new HP Reverb G2 a VR headset's going to ship. So I should have mine by the end of November. It kind of depends on when in the queue I am. They're going to ship November 18th, so most people will get them toward the end of November. So I'm kind of holding back because I do want to wait and play that game with the headset on. I've been playing like I said, a little bit of Stellaris. Megacorps are broken. Like, a game's all about money, and those things just make money. So you can just feel free to just print money and throw money all over the galaxy.
There you go.
And I've been playing it multiplayer with a friend of mine. And multiplayer, that game's a completely different beast when you play it multiplayer. So just having some fun there. He knows a little bit how to play, but that's okay because we just steamrolled the stupid computer together. That's about it. I think I had some other stuff, but I will pass it along. I'll pass it back to you, Loud and Brown, so you can pass it up.
Oh, I'll pass it straight up to the sagest and bellest person that we have.
You're so
I was
herbal.
expecting you to actually try to pass, but whatever. I was ready to catch it. Wait, you just threw it over there. Anyways,
It's gone.
it's me, Sage Bell, at Twitter and pretty much any place you search Sage Bell, it's usually me. That includes Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, and Facebook is SageBell_model. And I guess we are talking about what we're playing. So I was playing Dead by Daylight, as I have been on Thursdays for Twitch. Thursday night streams with my co-stream with Rogue Dragon. And then I've been playing a lot of Among Us.
Oh boy.
Oh.
You're muted.
Sorry about that. I got that game for my son this weekend, and he was totally hooked.
Oh man. So like I'll play it when I'm like bored on my phone because it's also free to play on the phone in addition to owning it on PC.
And it's only $5 too, so on the PC.
And whenever I'm pink, I'm like almost always the murderer, and then no one suspects me because I'm pink.
Nice. That's what I think. That's why they picked it. That's like in the code somewhere.
Yeah, they're like pink.
No one suspects pink.
Did I play anything else? No, maybe I played Overwatch. I don't remember. That's usually if I'm playing Overwatch, I'm just playing to get like my chests, like my bonus chests to unlock things. I thought about playing Valorant and Paladins, but I didn't. I did photos this weekend, so I set up my studio in my basement, and we did Velma and Daphne photos.
I saw
nice.
a little
Nice.
sneaky.
Jinkies.
Also, yeah, we'll talk about it later, but I'm like not really familiar with how big the Paladins community is.
It's not as big as some of the other ones.
By the way,
they
Sean
do a
O'Brien
lot of-
says
always
Sean
pink.
O'Brien says always pink.
Always pink. It's not as big as any of the other ones that are free to play, but they put out a lot of content and do a lot of updates. I follow them on Twitch, so I kind of can like gauge their viewership and what their popularity is that way. And they're usually like, for people I follow, top 3, but they're usually a couple hundred below like the people who are super popular that I follow. I don't follow like I fall somewhere in here usually. And I guess to that direction is our special guest.
Woo!
That guy.
Me? Oh, well, thank you.
And now I am a boom.
Oh yeah, you are an extension of my microphone. Get off. So my name is Classy Beard. On Twitter, it's Classy Beard TV because somebody horrendously, this is terrible news, I know, took the name Classy Beard at Classy Beard, and they have 2 followers, and they have not been online since 2015.
That kind of stuff happens all the time. Isn't Ave our homie AV's trying to get Von Shady on Twitter, but he has to be underscore Von Shady?
Yeah.
And it's the same thing. Someone that like doesn't even use their account. It's like, it's so wasteful.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it's Classy Beard TV. That's makes sense. And then on Twitch, it's just Classy Beard. Thankfully, somehow that wasn't taken, of all things. And
I think it's funny because Twitch is twitch.tv/classybeard.
Yeah.
And then Twitter's Classy Beard TV.
Yeah, I like to, swap things around.
Yeah,
you know what? That's awesome. Yeah, I did not think of that.
You get the tuberculosis in there anyway.
Yeah, exactly. But I am a variety streamer. I can't really stick to one thing. For the past month, I beat Paper Mario, the Origami King, which has to be one of my favorite games recently. Very, very good. Very heartwarming, very cute. Has probably the best companion in any game that I have ever played. Very adorable. And then played through Yoshi's Crafted World, which is basically a child version of Mario. And then Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I just started playing Genshin Impact, which dropped yesterday, which is anime Breath of the Wild, basically, with a gacha system. So there's that.
Like, gotcha, or
well, it's the monetary gotcha. Yeah, it's the hey, we'll give you this currency so that you can pull some characters, maybe, or you could give us $100 and maybe you'll get one really nice character.
Oh,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I've actually really enjoyed it. And so I've been playing that for a bit. I also got a Razer Kishi yesterday.
Oh,
that's cute.
It's pretty cool.
How is that not on my radar at all?
Explain it for us.
So the Razer Kishi is a universal mobile gaming controller. It's only for Android currently. Although they're coming out with it for derp iPhones as well. It's pretty cool. It just fits on your phone. You stretch it out, you put your phone in it, and you can play anything on the X Cloud. It's supposed to be used with any gaming app, game related app on your phone. You can even navigate your phone with it. So when you're on like the
cool,
like you use the controller to move around. It's pretty cool.
Now, Classy Beard, is that not unsimilar to people trying to play the wrong game with the bongos from Donkey Kong on GameCube?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
There's videos of saverings ... Remind me if I'm wrong. People trying to play like third-person action games with a Guitar Hero controller. Like that exists, right?
Oh yeah.
There's the guy that beat Dark Souls with the freaking Dance Dance Revolution pad.
Yeah.
And dude would quit and start the game from scratch if he got hit. So dude beat the game without being hit using the Dance Dance pad.
Some people can
He's got
do that.
some quads, man.
You know what? I'll just say I believe anything after I saw somebody doing 2-player Ikaruga by themselves. And after I saw that, I'm like, fucking anything's possible at this point. Like nothing really surprises me. Some fighting game stuff still does because that's the world that I exist in. You know, I mostly play fighting games. But, you know, when it comes to like technical execution, I'm just like, fine, you figure that out. Sure. Why not? if Herman Lee can do the solos he can, then sure, you can play Dark Souls.
With the dance.
Oh God, Matt Stott saw someone beating Dark Souls with a guitar controller too. Stotty, thank you.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing. People are crazy. Whatever there is to be good at, there's somebody that's good at it. That's just how it goes.
Well, hot dang. Beardy class, we need to get your socials and then we'll get on to our topic. So anybody listening can find you. I know you gave most of them, but aside from Twitter and Twitch, are you putting out like YouTube content or Instagram content?
I am not right now, although I do have Classy Beard on YouTube, but I haven't really done that lately. I actually used to do the only thing on there right now is a few videos where I used to do video game news for like 30 minutes before my stream, and then I stopped doing that because I just did not have the time.
Word. I've been actually kind of curious about Twitch streamers and YouTube content. Is there a widget or a script or an app that uploads stuff automatically, or do most of these pro streamers have producers or extra time to just load all of their popular streams to the YouTube? Because some of them have enormous YouTube channels, like
yeah,
hour, 2 hour like sessions, like every couple days.
yeah. I think some of them have producers. There used to be a few people who were viewers of mine who they would compile, few seconds like clips and then compile them and then make them into a YouTube video. And then they would send it to me.
Like
Which was
Donkey.
very, very nice. Yeah. And then but it does take a lot of work. It's not too hard because on Twitch you can just download your previous stream. If people make clips, you can download all of those, right?
Okay.
So
it's not like they're preventing you from doing it. Like it's built in. It's like, oh, you want that video, by the way, here you go.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty simple. It's just pretty time consuming, honestly. It also takes up a lot of because videos are not tiny, right? It takes up a lot of space, and then you have to then take the time to, if you haven't put in reminders of like, oh, here are certain spots that I want to remember, then you have to go and find those areas, edit it out and condense it and then make the video, which that can be that can take a while, and I have not found the time, unfortunately, to do so. So it'll happen, I'm sure.
For sure. And we may or may not be aware of programs that allow us to stream on more than one platform. So you could have it running in the back and the entire time. I don't know how that works with YouTube, but probably likely if you could run a Facebook and YouTube stream, you could almost definitely run a Twitch and YouTube stream.
Oh yeah, I had a friend of mine who he would stream to YouTube, Twitch, and Mixer. Rip. Rip. All at the same time.
Or is it?
All at the same time.
I mean, yeah, you can multi-stream pretty easily unless you're above affiliate on Twitch. Then you can't multi-stream anymore.
Oh, really? What is that?
Yeah, partner. You can't, if you're partnered, you cannot multi-stream.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, because you are a partner.
I couldn't remember the word at the moment, but yeah.
And fingers crossed, we might have a friend that's about to hit partner. Fingers crossed.
Exciting.
You know her too, I'm pretty sure.
Maybe.
She may or may not play a lot of Animal Crossing and Pokemon, and we love her.
You mean you mean my coworker? Yes.
Oh yes, she does work for the same company I do as well.
Yep, I got her a job there. So
that's TBD. Maniacs.
Yep.
Everybody welcome on the online the beautiful and wonderful Classy Beard.
Nice.
But Classy Beard, Time's a moving. We got to get to these dang topics. We got news.
Oh yeah.
News,
Do
news,
we?
news, news.
Do
We
we?
do have news. And just to make sure we get it out there while it's still, cute. The Black Heart. Just to make sure we get to the topics before they're obsolete. Saverings ... Can we get to Microsoft?
Microsoft.
No, it's not called
I'm going to
that.
keep calling it that.
Sounds
when
like
they-
a dive bar.
When they bought Minecraft, they weren't called Microjang or something.
Is Microsoft own Minecraft?
Oh yeah, Microsoft
Yeah.
and Minecraft for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that thing's been like that's one of their like solid staples, like Minecraft, Forza, and Halo, or they're like
That was like a mainstream
Top
story
3.
of the year in like what was it, like 2016?
Yeah.
It didn't involve someone punching, so I didn't pay attention.
There's definitely punching in Minecraft. What's
Are
the
you
first?
punching wood?
Yeah, I'm saying like, what's the first thing you do in survival mode? You go punch some trees. That's the first thing you
you
do.
run away from things that go.
Yeah, but you usually spawn during the day, and you just go and punch some trees. That's how it all. You start by punching the tree, and then you have a giant castle in the sky. Like you go
These are my-
punching the tree to castle in the sky.
These are my snacks.
Those aren't snacks that sis in that game. Those are cactuses. They explode.
Same thing. Same thing.
So basically, I guess the topic.
Anyway,
I don't even
what-
play Minecraft.
So, Maniacs, we went over the topic a little bit with Darkane last week, but more stuff is. The dust is settled.
Yeah, because
More
like
facts have come out, and
like when we last reported
Saverings.
it had just happened.
Yeah, and Saverings ... is going to walk us through what exactly happened, what the future of things are, and are we still going to get dope Dishonored parties during PAX? That's all I care about.
Oh, probably, yeah, because they're gonna have even more money now, and it'll probably be combined with some sick Microsoft. I was gonna say,
Yeah, but the Microsoft,
I was
Xbox
gonna say
parties.
Coke party, but
Yeah, but
Like-
I don't remember a Minecraft party. I don't remember an Xbox party.
because you're not up on Minecraft. You didn't even know Microsoft even owned Minecraft. So like, you're out of
What are
that
you
loop.
talking about? I
You're out
was
of that
8
loop,
years
Pop.
old when I found
You're-
out, which is plenty of time.
Your finger is firmly not on the
Too
pulse of
old
today's
for
use.
Minecraft.
Today's use.
What was that, young lady? You're gonna have to speak up. My ears ain't what they used to be.
Yeah, he's speaking my good ear. He's got the horn sticking out.
What was
So
that?
basically, there's some details have come forward. We don't know
What was that? Speak
Really-
up.
really past another like 2 years, like what their future is as far as there being exclusives to the Xbox. We know for sure the next couple of games, all their contracts that they have in place. There are 2 PlayStation at least timed exclusives, PlayStation 5 games that are published by Bethesda, and that'll still go through. All their contracts they have, they'll honor. But let's remind the viewers that they didn't buy Bethesda. They bought Bethesda's parent company. They bought the whole thing.
That's pretty baller.
Yeah, they bought the whole thing. And
Whole shebang.
so some dust has settled. Really not too much is going to go on in the day-to-day. Bethesda will still publish games. So they're still their own publisher under Microsoft, but now they can just combine things. Some things that have come out, some things to think about. Okay, think about this. Okay, we all know the Fallout series, right? So for example, Fallout, the first 2 came out for a company called Interplay. The team that made that ended up, I don't know the full history, but basically what happened was the game director in this current day and age is the design leader, and he's the president of In Exile Studios. And for those that don't know, they made the popular Wasteland games. Wasteland 3 just came out and it's been trending pretty hard. Look at
Really
it.
good too.
Yeah, and solid reviews across the board. Everyone that plays it loves it. I have 2 people in my work Steam group that are currently playing it and love it.
Nice.
So this guy's the original game director for the original 2 Fallouts. I think he only worked on the first 2. Correct me if I'm wrong out there if you guys know.
Oh, right.
The team around him went off and formed their own team, which ended up being Obsidian Games, and you might know them from The Outer Worlds was their last game that they made. They are also making Grounded, which you guys were talking about. That's also an Obsidian game. But those guys made a couple other games, but they're probably the most famous for making Fallout New Vegas, which is a Fallout game which came out after Fallout 3. People weren't really expecting the trailers and stuff look cool, but people still weren't really expecting too much because Fallout 3 was basically for the people that liked it was a masterpiece, and for everyone else it was solid. And then for your traditionalist Fallout players, they didn't really care for it. But in general, most people liked it, and it introduced Fallout 2 being the big mainstream game that it is now. So after that, they were going to make another game, but they handed it off to Obsidian. And Obsidian was made of the original team that made the original ones. And before all this, this could be a whole episode, but there was a whole legal battle between Bethesda, Interplay, and I forgot the third party in there, Obsidian, over who had the rights to make the Fallout series. Bethesda ended up with it after playing playing things pretty low. Bethesda loves to lawyer up. ZeniMax, their owner, loved to lawyer up even more than that. They were the ones that sued Mojang for making a game called Scrolls because they made a game called Elder Scrolls. You can't use the word Scrolls. We own that word.
I remember that.
And a bunch of other stuff. Right in line with that. So basically, think about this now. Microsoft bought Obsidian. They own them flat out. They bought In Exile. They own them flat out. They just bought Bethesda. So Obsidian and In Exile can make Fallout games, and these are the original people that made the original Fallout games. Microsoft can just straight up just hand the license over to them, and we could be seeing like games made by the original people and games made by like the best versions of those games, the most classic versions of those games. They're all under one roof now. Those teams and that IP are together. So that's something people have been like, ooh.
So to draw back from the fighting game scene, and Classy Beard, I did not ask if you play fighting games at all.
Nope.
Okay. You're aware of games like Street Fighter and Tekken, though. You know,
Correct.
Those are video computer games. Anyway,
those things with the controllers and the buttons.
Yeah,
So-
and the half circle forwards and all that stuff.
right?
Yeah.
So there was a very special time in history with Street Fighter 2 because people left or stayed or split off after the enormous success of Street Fighter 2 because it made so much money. And some of them started their own businesses. And one of them was SNK. And SNK made like Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting. And depending on, who was part of it, they actually shared. There were people that were from the original Street Fighter 2 team. So in 1999 or 2000, when they did Capcom versus SNK.
SNK versus Capcom.
Yeah.
SNK versus Capcom. No.
Capcom versus SNK was first.
I know, but I'm saying like out of those two, the SNK versus Capcom is the superior game.
Oh, okay. But when Capcom versus SNK happened, which is the first one, there was this cute little homecoming where people would be like, I'd program games with you 9 years ago. How you been, buddy? They're like, oh, we're great. It's like, let's make this collab game together. And out of the crossover games, there's just so much care put into. It was a mostly produced Capcom game with SNK characters, but the SNK characters were delivered with such care, and they weren't like secondary or like lower tier characters. They were meant to be equals. I think that's because
they would flip it around. Though.
Oh, we have a fifth podcaster. Hi, everybody.
It's just a popper. She's just hanging out on stream.
Hi.
Puppies.
Anyway, that would be.
I think they flipped the publishing duties on each game. So the Capcom versus SNK one was published by Capcom, and then the
SNK versus Capcom was. But the same thing, they made cool things for the Capcom people in the SNK game. Anyway, I'm bringing this back to Bethesda and everybody. Maybe there will be this sharing and homecoming for people to be like, I used to work with you. Fine.
Definitely.
It'd be freaking adorable.
I don't think there's anybody left from that old school Bethesda publishing thing. I don't know who on the Bethesda side would still be left, but there is a definite split in the Fallout community. There's the people that like the old top-down isometric ones. Well, you got the guy who still makes games like that, who was a director. He can make that, and then you can have the people that prefer the 3D shooty ones. They can have Obsidian make that one. You can just drop 2 banger Fallout games, and everybody would be happy. So please, Microsoft, like go ahead and make that happen. That'd be great.
Classy Beard, what's your history with Bethesda games?
Oh, I love Bethesda games, especially the Fallout games are a big. I love
Fallout 76 tattoo on your back, huh?
I am the one person that actually did enjoy Fallout 76. Now, granted,
I have a few friends that play that.
There are big downsides to the game, but the allure is still there that you can go and explore, this sort of Fallout version of West Virginia. Is it perfect? No. Did they do terrible things to the game and make basically destroy their people's love for the IP? Yes, but there are still a lot to like about the game.
Cool.
I will put that in the category with like No Man's Sky, except No Man's Sky actually worked.
Yeah, I mean, the Fallout 76 comes in the generation of where developers go, you know what, this isn't working. This thing is a piece of crap. But if we publish it, if we
They'll
go
still
live,
buy it.
Anthem,
maybe it'll get better.
Anthem, anyone?
What?
Anthem, anyone?
Oh, Anthem, yeah. Well, they're trying to revitalize that, right?
Stop trying to make it happen.
It's so I doubt Fallout 76 is going to be good. And honestly, I think the reason why the Microsoft had the opportunity to even buy Bethesda is kind of because of 76. If you look at the history of what Bethesda has created over the past 5 years, it's like, okay, Fallout 4, I think was, somewhere around 2016 or so. I can't remember. Then the next year is Skyrim VR and Fallout 4 VR, which is the same game, just a VR version of it, and they're not good VR versions.
I wasn't a fan of just plain old Fallout 4. It seemed like basic. They like stripped it back.
And the controls, so I've heard, I mean, are not very good. You can't like do I'm not very good with VR. I've never used one, but
oh, what? We got
you're supposed to be able to interact with the world because you're supposed to be like in it, and the controls are just terrible. And then what they've got, what else?
For Bethesda?
Yeah, not much else for like the next few years, and then Fallout 76, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah, Bethesda is doing better as a publisher. All of their good games over the last couple of years, they haven't made it themselves. It's been
correct. Yep.
So what's Dishonored under then?
That's Arcane Studios, which is owned by Bethesda. Yeah. So yeah, all their So those are the games that people would even know them from, and it's not even them.
Yeah. So
that might be photos.
That's awesome.
London,
wow.
London, that might be photoshopped. Also, hey, everybody read London's tabs. Someone did in full screen. Is that cookie counter? That looked like cookie counter.
So so we got all that going on. So I posed this question to you guys. If
before you pose this question, everybody look to your beautiful webcam and freeze frame. In 3.
Oh, is this thumbnail?
Yeah, camera. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
All right.
Continue.
So I'd like to pose this question to everyone. First, we're gonna answer it here. Any of you got some answers or any dreams you'd want to see there? Let us know in the comments. You can find us on YouTube. Find us on Facebook right now. If you're listening to this later, come to our Facebook page and tell us underneath the post. If you could pick any company that you would want Microsoft to rescue or do something different with, what would it be? And we won't just leave it to one. You can have 2 if you like. So, anyone want to start, or shall I start?
Do that again because I'm typing things. Hold on.
Okay, so basically, what companies would you like? Do you either think Microsoft would be looking at, or what companies would you like them to purchase to maybe do something different with, or a company that's been kind of lax or been slipping and you'd like to see?
So, because of, once again, where my heart is, SNK Playmore has been having such a bad decade.
Yeah.
I feel like if Capcom came in as their main publisher, and just kind of own them and they could do their own stuff, but have more intercompany workings, we can get all those beautiful dream games that we always wanted. Because look at all the work Arc Systems is doing. They're borrowing from different anime, like all these different, they got Persona, they got BlazBlue, they now have Dragon Ball, Jesus. And obviously they have the new ones and, Guilty Gear, which is the OG and the reason why they're even good, damn it. But the thing is, they got this like umbrella of fighting games, you know?
Yeah.
And then they could do BB Tag where they're like, not only do we have our own games, we did an action adventure game with Ruby and threw them in the fighting game. And there's some of the dopest character animations ever.
Yeah, and that port needs work because the PC port of that game is the worst.
Sure, but if Capcom had ownership of SNK, we would have beautiful games. I just want to see Ken Masters and Terry Bogard fight more often.
We've been talking about Capcom's resurgence because there was a couple of years on this podcast, a couple of years ago on this very podcast, we were talking about how before Street Fighter 5, Capcom didn't even have enough money to publish a game. Like they just barely had enough to get it out the door. And
they were doing rough, and then Monster Hunter happened. And
so that being said,
all the money,
they're still not in a position to like purchase anyone or be their publisher yet. I think with these games that are coming out on the PS5 and the PC ports of that, like they'll start to be in that position. But if another company bought them that was very willing to cooperate, like let's say Microsoft, if Microsoft bought SNK, which would make sense because this was a news story we didn't mention, but the Xbox pre-order sold out in Japan, which is crazy.
Wait, the new one?
Yes, the Series S and the Series X, the pre-order sold out in Japan. That's never happened. Not even remotely close has that ever happened.
No, because I remember, and I think we talked about this on the podcast back in like 2017. There are all these hilarious videos of the Xbox 360 launch in America versus Japan. And in America, people are just clawing for it.
In Europe
and
too.
then in Japan, they were just, single salespeople with an entire like product mountain built out of Xbox 360s untouched.
Yeah, and like the numbers this time was something like 120 or 150,000 pre-orders. And if you think about this, the Xbox One has only sold like 350,000 copies over there. So they already have like a third as many pre-orders as they have Xbox One sold over there in like 6 years. That's kind of crazy.
Does London have the numbers for the current console battle with the?
What are you doing?
But so you're talking about your purchase of SNK and stuff. That would make sense now because now it's looking like they just might get a foothold over there. The other thing that they're doing is Sony has been censoring a lot of like anime games, a little like a little questionable like sexy games and games with like adult storylines and themes. And
does Food Wars have a game yet? Food Wars is gonna be a
cooking game.
Yeah.
Cooking Mama is amazing, and also Final Fantasy 15 has a great cooking side game.
He's talking Final Fantasy 15. They already showed 16. Come on, man. Let's move on.
That's
move on to
16.
16.
Exciting.
But Sony's been censoring a lot of these games, and Microsoft seems to be like welcoming them in. There was a major one. This game's been being published since the PS2 or PS3. There's been 2 or 3 different versions of it. They've all been PlayStation exclusive games. The new one that just got announced, for the Xbox, the Switch, and the PC. There's no PlayStation version. And there's a couple other games like that have traditionally been Japanese that are now only on the Xbox. Which
Zelda gets it. Cooking Mama.
Which is leaning towards, maybe this is why they're taking off over there. So you're right. Sony would be wise. Microsoft would be wise to purchase a company like that. The rumor last week or this week coming into this week was Sega. They were looking at probably maybe purchasing Sega, which would have been a great move. But I don't know how that would work because there's that whole thing with Japanese companies, like they don't really sell.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about. Move the conversation to another person. What company would you want to buy another company?
Yeah,
pick somebody.
I actually haven't picked mine. I would say Konami, and I would say come back to me because it's a rotation. But Konami for sure. That's the company I want them to buy.
Nice.
You want Microsoft to buy Konami?
Yes, because Konami's not doing anything with Konami right now. So at least, okay, and here's how you get around it. You don't have to buy the company. Buy all their IPs, release them for like 99 years, and then just give them a little chunk of the games back because Konami makes pennies. They always made pennies off video games. That was like their 5th or 6th business, which is crazy when you think about it. They make like gym equipment and like weights and stuff and like healthcare programs. Like that's Konami's actual business. They just made video games on the Contra was like a side project. That's crazy.
No, you're right. And Classy Beard probably knows this, but SNK isn't
Derek.
doing as bad as I think they are because
Mhm.
they are
Loud and
huge
brown.
in
Loud and
pachinko
brown.
machines.
You're like my kids right now. You have a one-track mind. Is there something you want to get out of your mind about some fighting games
No,
right
no,
now?
no. I was just bringing up a company that has other facets. It just reminded me. But the SNK is big on pachinko.
Yes.
So when everybody's like, "Oh, I haven't seen an SNK game in a while," it's like it doesn't matter. Kind of like Comic Book Girl 19 doesn't put out that many like film analysis videos anymore. It's like she's got a Patreon and like duty calendars. Like
you know who
she
the king
makes
of that
money
is?
elsewhere.
You know the king of that is JonTron. He drops like 3 videos a year and they all make like 30 million views. Like that's all he does.
Yeah.
Just like 3 videos a year.
Anyway, continue. You want Microsoft to buy Konami?
Or at least buy the IPs, work out a deal with them, and then, dude, like, think about this: if you bring back Silent Hill, if you make a good Contra game for the first
people go nuts.
yeah. If you make a good Contra game for the first time in 20 years, if you do like a Konami,
oh my god, how about this, Russ?
What's up? What's up?
Sorry, Saverings. ...
What's up?
You got to remember what Microsoft owns. Can you imagine? In Classy Beard, this is gonna blow your mind, or it might not blow your mind. I just think it's clever. Imagine playing Contra 2025 and one of the DLC characters is Master Chief. And you could just be like,
that'd be pretty
oh yeah, what characters do you want?
That'd be pretty cool.
Oh,
and now they could have all of the Bethesda characters.
And actually, if
can
you
you
go
imagine
back,
the protagonist of Fallout 76 as
dude,
a
Bethesda characters, Master Chief versus Doomslayer, like what game would that be? Like who wouldn't buy that? Like who would not buy that?
That's how you use. Like, put it this way. For example, like Sage Bell brought up 2 weeks ago, look at how much fun a game can be when you have all of these cross cultures, like Dead by Daylight.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting just to see who pops up next, not unlike Broforce.
Tell me how upside down the world would go if they bought Konami and then they went over to Kojima Studios, like, here you go, here's the IP, like, do whatever you want to with it. Here's a blank check, Metal Gear something for us. Like who would not buy that game? That game would like sell.
That's true, but also I think Kojima is one of those homies that's like, I put my art out over 20 years and I'm good. Like,
there's no way he could resist that though.
There are bands that will never get back together. You know, the Smiths will never do another show ever because
the whole reason he stopped making it is because they ran him out of there. If they didn't run him out of there, he'd probably.
But I'm
take
just
a break
telling you, not everybody can be bought, is what I'm saying.
They're not buying them. They're just like, make your game.
I know. It's like, hey, here's a blank check. It's like, oh Jesus, okay.
Yeah,
if you have this
yeah. That means you can get like the 19,000 piece orchestra and all that stuff. Yeah.
But but like I said, not everybody is for sale. You know,
it's not a sale.
If you went up to David Simon and you were like,
money.
yeah, but if you went up to David Simon, you're like, hey, make season 6 of The Wire. He would look at you and be like, fuck off.
This is yeah, because there was like politics and stuff in that involved. Like, yeah. But I'm saying, like, if you had an artist a blank thing, like you got cut off from your art. I'm coming to you as a guardian angel.
That does make more sense. If you were cut off from your art and offered it back, that makes more sense.
Yeah, and that's how that's how I'd approach him. It'd be like, here you go, here's your thing back. Like, do something with it.
All right, and now Sage Bell, 2 companies, like, talk about Big Daddy and Little Sister. What company would you like to be bought for future collaborations? Like, what do you think? Or like even a company that might be struggling right now that you think might need a little bump?
I'm not sure who would be.
You might have been tending to the dogs when I said mine, but I want Capcom to buy SNK.
You started the conversation with that.
I didn't start it. I said it. Capcom. But Russ, but Saverings ... brought it up, and he wants Microsoft to get Konami. So what are your thoughts?
Just because I want to see Konami do something with Konami.
Word.
Thinking of game studios that are struggling. I don't know.
What if Activision Blizzard bought the people making their main competitor for Paladins? Do you think that would be a fun game?
Who is
like an Overwatch?
High Res Studios and
it's a
Evil
small
Mojo
studio,
games,
right? But would you think that game would be fun, like a crossover of Paladins and Overwatch?
That'd be way too many characters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Hold my beer. I'm League of Legends and
Well,
Dota too.
Paladins,
Yeah.
like the way its unlock system goes, like you have to unlock characters just like all of Riot games. So it kind of is more of a Riot-based game than it is a
John
Blizzard-based
Getty.
game.
John Getty says BioWare needs help.
BioWare, yeah, that's what I was trying to. I was like, who
Hold on.
is? Yeah, because
Let's-
that's Dragon Age and Borderlands a little bit, and other shit.
No, Borderlands is a Gearbox. Okay, but
Gearbox. Well,
hold on. But here's the thing:
they work
why
together.
why just go for BioWare? Why not just buy EA?
Ooh.
Well, there you go. Okay, that's my number one then. Like, so EA and Konami. Like, that's why I want to see them buy out.
Because Supergiant's doing great. They don't need to be bought out. All their games are fantastic, and they're doing a great job.
Yeah, and a company like Supergiant needs to stay independent.
Yeah, they do. I was just like, what games do I like? Type. No, I don't want them to be bought out. They're doing good.
Yeah.
They're the ones that made Hades, right?
Oh,
Isn't that
is
the one
Hades
we're playing now?
Supergiant?
I think so. Yeah.
Let me click on it right now.
It's
I
It
guess-
is.
so good.
I
I guess
think
this
it's going.
conversation mostly goes to fallen AAA type publishers and producers, because the indie games have their own energy, right? You know, you
Yeah.
don't want the people that made Lethal League to be owned by the people that do
Fallout.
Call of Duty. Like, that's such a weird management. But when things are kind of similar, like I said, with Microsoft buying Bethesda's huge, you know? Capcom and SNK, sure, that's like fighters. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And oh my god, and you know, Metal Slug and stuff like that too. And,
Yeah, I was gonna say earlier when you were
there's all
saying
sorts of stuff.
how you were saying how like nobody sees SNK games. Like, dude, they re-release those Metal Slug games like ad nauseum. I see those games all the time.
Yeah.
But
All the
Sageville?
SNK is like available on Twitch Prime.
Yeah.
So
For
if you
sure.
have Prime
get a
games,
crap
you get
load
all
of
your free games if you
Get-
just use
Get
them.
all the Art of Fightings, all the Fatal Furies, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But Sageville, anything come to mind? We can
Well,
move on
I
to
mean,
Classy
we-
Beard.
Already kind of discussed it co-optively.
What you got, Classy Beard?
BioWare.
So
Oh,
for
BioWare.
me,
Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah.
EA and BioWare. Heard. Thank you.
Mostly, I play a lot of indie games. Although not recently, but in general, I like to play a lot of indie games. So just adding more to that indie repertoire, I think they did an amazing job picking up a lot of Team 17 games, namely Neon Abyss is what it's called. That is a cute 2D platformer roguelike, something very similar to Dead Cells. It is
Oh,
Dead
adorable.
Cells.
It is adorable. It is fun. It is just awesome in every way. And so I love something little like that. I love games like the retro first person shooters like Doom. So one big thing that I would love to see is what's it called? 3D Realms. I
Oh,
love
wow.
3D Realms games. The old, that's like Duke Nukem, OG Duke Nukem. That would be awesome to see on like the Game Pass and stuff.
Huh.
One thing,
They have those on GOG.
Yeah.
Those-
one thing, remember, what was it, Darksiders? Is that what it's called, Darksiders? Where you're like,
Darksiders.
Yeah, where you're playing as
you
war
play like
and death and
then
stuff.
death, right? And those guys. So that was owned by THQ, which then went defunct and then got bought out by THQ Nordic, right? And then IPs that were a part of THQ went off. One of them, I believe, was, I could be wrong here, but I think one of them was Bayonetta. That got bought by
No, Bayonetta is Platinum Games.
oh,
Platinum Games.
thank you.
If I
Platinum
was,
one
if
good
I was
one.
Microsoft and I bought Konami, I would hand Castlevania over to Platinum Games.
Oh, there you go. That would be awesome. But yeah, THQ Nordic, I think that would be a big a one to pick up because they've been like hopscotching around people for a while. And
Fun fact, THQ, I just watched this video today. Do you guys remember LGN? LGN toys from like the 80s. They made the
Oh, yeah.
Thundercats toys.
yeah,
They made a video art. It was like a video game that you could like draw on your TV.
yeah.
The guy who funded that, he ended up leaving the company after he sold it out to Universal, and he formed THQ after that. Was the next company that he formed.
Oh, interesting. Huh.
I didn't know that until today. So yeah,
That's very
The more
curious.
you know.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the only other one I would think of would be Deep Silver. They did, I think, the Dead Island games, and I think one of their latest titles was the Dungeons and Dragons game.
They also did. They also did One Finger Death Punch.
Yes, they also did One Finger Death Punch. It's a really good one too. So
Did they ever like make Dead Island more than just like a Left 4 Dead 2?
no,
It's just Left 4
no,
Dead 2, but
it's just a terrible. Yeah.
Dead Island morphed into what is it? Dying Light.
like
No, I think Dying Light was different IP altogether. It
Yeah,
was.
but it's the same company though, isn't it?
I don't believe so. Was it?
I think it is.
Oh wait, I think you're right. I think
I got
Dying
in
Light,
on free
I
beta.
remember.
Now I own the game, but I didn't like the beta.
Dying Light was made by Techland Studios
Techland.
and published by Warner Brothers Interactive and Techland.
Okay.
Okay. So okay.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you, London. You're not fired.
At the buzzer.
I know that there was something because those games came out very close together.
Well, yeah, they started the game after the development of Dead Island.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think
But
Deep Silver.
Dead Island was published by Deep Silver, but developed by Techland.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's the connection. Thank
Okay.
you again, London. London is
Success.
earning her stripes this week.
Winner.
Mm-hmm.
Winner, chicken dinner.
So who you got? Who would you like to see Microsoft like rescue or do something with?
Not
like,
just Microsoft, by the way. I want this conversation to be any big company to
No.
assist or beat or consume another company.
I think a lot of people would definitely like to see things like games like that BioWare used to create, Mass Effect.
Word. I know MJ Gordon is over here saying that we need a new Jade Empire.
Yes,
There you go.
that would be EA. If you're gonna pick at the carcass, just get the whole carcass and just buy it.
Microsoft should buy EA. That would be awesome.
And then here's the other thing too.
Then they would get all the sports games.
Yeah. Well, here's the other thing too. I think Microsoft would be more willing to share that license. Also, they're gonna remember when the first Xbox came out, Madden sold that system. That was a reason to own that system. It had the definitive version of it. They would want to get back to those days. They would not want people complaining about it like they do. EA doesn't care because they make their money on loot boxes, but Microsoft doesn't need that loot. Like they don't need it. What they would do is, and what they should do, just spin off that Ultimate Team into its own game and then just make Madden an actual simulation. So I think Microsoft would do that. They'd be like, why are we making people mad just making one game? Spin that off, have that be its own thing, and then just make Madden like we used to. Remember that? They used to sell Xboxes back in the day.
See what you do. This is a perfect pitch for Microsoft. What you do is you come out with a new Kinect, right? Brand new Kinect, and then you put Madden on the Xbox Series X. Power your dreams. You too can be a linebacker.
Yeah, and you gotta buy like a virtual football controller. So
exactly. No controller. You are the game. You are in it. You just stand there and you can pretend.
I can't believe you brought this up. I thought we were over. I thought we were done with the Kinect.
and Stoddy.
You can wear a VR headset, and then you can tackle your television.
There's no VR.
Y'all see Stoddy trying to take it a step back? He wants Square Enix to separate from Enix.
Whoa, it'd be Squaresoft again?
Yeah. I know a lot of people don't like the new generation Final Fantasies, so I understand their pain. However, I've played all of them and I love them all.
Bootleg soccer game.
Yeah, I know. Elizabeth is so solid. We need to have her back on the podcast. She's chef's kiss. Soccer. And also, if Microsoft owned EA, and you got to remember, do you know who one of the main sponsors of the Seattle Sounders FC are?
Oh yeah,
or used to be. It's now Zulily, but it was Xbox for years.
It's still their colors though. Anyway, so that was smart on their move. They're not the sponsor. It's still their
marketing.
Colors.
Yep. Oh, how dare you! It is not rugby. You're the football. Okay. While we're still here, and before we get too off topic, we are here to celebrate the great and powerful Classy Beard. And we want to talk about all of the fantastic things that you've been up to. And aside from just your tags, what is it like being a streamer? Like, how is it engaging with fans? How is it making content? Because this is also for our super producer, the Prince of Parmesan, the region of rigatoni, and the Emperor Elote, Keith the Boogie. He needs to know all of this because during the age of 2020 COVID, some of his other podcasts are going video, and there's just certain different ways that we go across things because more people have time to sit at their computers and watch something.
And I'm gonna poke him. I'm gonna poke him because he's sitting on our badass streaming gaming PC. And this dude's
anyway,
like, I don't know what he's doing. Come on.
I know. But so Classy Beard, like,
yeah,
you know, what's like a normal week? What are the things that you're doing currently? And what do you think of just like the age of streaming in COVID 2020?
I mean, I think it makes it a lot easier, right? Now that we're all at home, right? You know, I'm not going out and doing a bunch of stuff, so I can focus a lot more on, you know, my stream because I'm not going out hanging out with friends. What are friends? And
who are other humans?
You mean subscribers?
Yeah, what are people?
Subscribers?
Hey,
Followers?
he's got a lot of followers on Twitch, man. This guy's got over 1K.
Friends, followers.
He's got a bunch.
So
wait, is that affiliate or is that partner already?
He's just affiliate. You have to have like a crap ton of people also watching and interacting with you at the same time as you having a bunch of followers.
But 1,000 is quite a bit.
Yeah, thousands. Yep. I've been streaming since 2015. I've been around for a bit. It's been great, but I think right now is like the ultimate time to be streaming just because there's all that time now that you have that you can allot to stuff like, you know, curating content, making videos, making GIFs, making you know, playing more games, making more
building your community.
Yeah, exactly. So it's sort of prime time, if you will. And so I've had some I have had little time, sadly. I've had some family emergencies to take care of, and then I also painted the inside and outside of my house. So I have been very busy off screen doing a lot of things. But I mean, I think there's also a little, I mean, this doesn't really have to, is not the great word to use, but a little bit of buyer's remorse, a little bit, you know, because it's like what we like to do as streamers is we make friends, you know, Sage, you know, there's all those other people that I've met that I can't remember right now because I'm really bad at remembering names. Besides the one that I see in front of me, Nicole is one of them. I think
basically everyone through Soba.
Yeah, everyone through Soba. We don't get to see these people anymore. We don't get to make those wonderful connections that we otherwise could, right? We can't go to conventions. It's not PAX isn't the same as you guys watch PAX online. It's really hard for you to pay attention to because like it's not, I can't go and visit these panels like and stand in line.
Classy Beard, I did still get wasted that weekend, so
hey, there you go.
I think I win.
Yeah, you live the ultimate online PAX experience. But it's so we don't get to have the amount of connection that I think some of us would like.
That's understandable. But how about on a weekly basis? Like, do you set up your programming? Do you tell the fans, hey, these are the games they're going to do this week? And how much do other social medias play into your stream? Like, do you draw people from Twitch, be like, going live at 8 p.m. XXX? Or do you just kind of run full Twitch? That's your platform. That's how you rock.
Yep, I only use Twitch. I think that's just easier for me. I am a simple-minded boy.
You use Twitter.
Oh, well, I mean, I use Twitter. You're right. Right.
He said Twitch instead of Twitter when he was saying posting.
Yes.
Ooh,
That's
good
true.
on you, Sean.
But I have sort of all of my stuff set up with a macro so that I can just type in what I want and then just press a button and then it all like posts to all these to my social media. And then
What's your setup looking like? What kind of you got a external streaming box? Like what's your specs? Let's see your Pokemans.
My Pokemans.
Yeah.
So I have a 2 PC setup.
Nice.
I don't really have the greatest graphics card right now. I have a 970. I was gonna
That's what
upgrade
I
to the
have.
3080.
970 is a workhorse.
I win.
It's a
It's a workhorse. That thing is just lives. It just
Yeah.
never dies. It's great. It
I
does so
still
much
have
work.
one. I just built a PC in my living room that has a 970.
It is
Yep.
Oh, it's so
kicking
good.
ass. Tekken looks great. Mwah.
Yeah. I was going to pick up the 3080, but we all know how that went.
Oh boy, it got even worse for them this week. That's a topic that
I know,
is gonna
and
get
also
pushed to next week.
Corridor Crew just did a video where they did a create a render in 5 days challenge, and the winner got a 3090 workstation.
Oh wow.
So it wasn't just the card. Well, Corridor Crew has
Sponsors.
I mean, they have hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers.
Millions.
I think they're at 3 million.
Wow.
And
Well,
There's a lot of hundreds.
That's just on that channel. That's just on that channel too. They got
that's just on the channel. They also have their website, and they
Node.
also have their professional work, like their professional VFX artists.
Yeah, but they're
So-
also Node too, and Node has 6 or 7 million subscribers. Their other channel.
Node.
Yeah, you never watched Node before? That's their other channel. That's the one where they do all the crazy video game stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Node.
But yeah, they're insanely popular. So yeah, they're able to be like, hey, here's a bump for NVIDIA, and also the company that made the workstation, they got a big plug. But it was like not even a 10-second name drop. Like that's just the kind of pull they have. But
Hold up,
anyway,
you
they got a
hold up,
3090.
You didn't know that they had Node?
I
Oh,
didn't
dude,
know.
you're about to
I
fall
don't
into
well,
a rabbit
put it
hole.
this way. I don't know what Node is. That's
You're about
how
to fall.
old I
You're
am.
about to fall into a rabbit hole. If you're already fans of those guys on the Corridor channel, go watch Node. You're gonna fall into like 10 years worth of like sick videos. It goes back. It goes back to like 2011, 2012. They've been doing it.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's a long time.
yeah, they got a lot of good videos. You might have seen some of their other videos because they've gone viral. The one where it's Superman with like the first person camera, it's on that channel. That one went viral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was them. So yeah,
Huh.
definitely. When this is over, Loud and Brown, go check out Node for real.
When this is over, I got to go on a run and run out all this booze from my body because I'm
Booze
feeling
run.
it.
When you're passing out later on, just put that on.
There you go.
Bird.
On the television.
So we're at that tender moment, Classy Bird. I know it doesn't seem
Yeah.
that long, but we have been running almost an hour here, so we are gonna start in a curveball with you and with what you've got going on this week. But before we do this outro, I want to make sure everybody knows we're sponsored and supported by the lovely Voodoo Ranger IPA, B Corp certified and employee owned, Indian Pale Ales, wonderful in so many different flavors, and also they're a big part of the gaming community more than a lot of other beer companies are doing.
Definitely.
We were
talking about that today. They were sponsoring other major podcasts and shows that we won't name. But yeah, they definitely were. That was cool to see.
It wasn't a podcast,
Nice.
It was like a let's play. It was like a live stream.
No, there was
you
two.
know?
They had a live stream, and then the other affiliated one was like a roundtable thing. Kind of
But
like
I'm
what we're
all
doing.
for
It's
that
cool.
because it's
Yeah.
the same way that, Red Bull attached itself to extreme sports and Monster somehow got attached to MMA. I think that it's cool that Voodoo Ranger made gaming their home because other than that, gaming is just what deodorant companies and
Mountain Dew and
Mountain Dew. But you know what? Like, yeah,
Energy
with
drinks.
their XP, but
Energy
there
drinks,
needs
like
to be
coffee.
more. And Voodoo Ranger is a fantastic company to do that. Check them out. Hashtag live rangerously. They got stuff coming up. Pumpkin! Atomic Pumpkin is out right now, and it is fantastic.
If you can find it.
I don't even drink beer because it makes me sick, and I've already had 2 atomic pumpkins this season.
Nice.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You can find it at the Safeway by your house. You can
It
find it at QFC. You can find it at
sells out quick around my way.
huh?
It sells out quick at the Safeway by my house. It's never.
Yeah. Or maybe Drizzly should sponsor us.
Uh,
Hey, Drizzly, we can deliver atomic pumpkin via Drizzly. Maybe.
What's the Total Wine? You can get it
Total Wine
there.
and More. Oh yeah, that's where I buy them.
Oh, thank
If
you,
you
John
know
Getty.
you want to know the best place to, because you live near me, go to the Thriftway, the Ballinger Way Thriftway or whatever,
Yeah,
right by the freeway. They will always have it in stock there. They have a great liquor, like local beer
I'll
section.
have to check that out.
Y'all,
Okay.
I don't know if you noticed,
ahead,
but
though.
Sean is flexing over here. He's trying to donate for another hour of content.
Hey, I mean, shit.
We are whores. We'll do it.
Yeah.
This
we're
is our
the-
OnlyFans.
we're like
But
the-
anyway.
You are OnlyFans.
That
Sell out
said,
quick.
I am going to treat this like we have an hour episode, and we'll set up a whole donation system with a Patreon and other stuff later. But right now, I really want to get to what Classy Beer is up to this week, how we can follow you, and a closing statement to the gaming community, please and thank you.
Oh man, I this week I'm gonna be finishing up Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and probably playing some Hyrule Warriors because Age of Calamity is coming out
I
soon.
know.
and
I want to play
holy
that
crap.
so bad. I want to play it so bad.
I want to play it so bad. It's gonna be so good. Did you see the video for that they did at the Tokyo Game Show?
No, because I can't get my hopes up for it because I can't find a Switch, and it's just like I don't even want to.
Oh no! Oh no!
So I don't
Yeah,
even want to look.
but then after that, because guess what time it is, guys? It's October, and I'm going to be playing through every single Resident Evil game the
Woo!
whole month.
Nice
Okay.
goal.
And, I love horror games, so I'm so
Oh.
excited to get started.
Me
on that.
too.
What's
Yeah.
the horror
games are
game?
great.
What's the horror game with the 2 sisters and a camera?
Fatal
Oh,
Frame.
Fatal
Frame.
Frame.
That's a
No.
great one. Yeah, Fatal
Fatal
Frame
Frame.
is a really good one.
Are you gonna beat them all by the time that Resident Evil Village comes out? Because that looks
Oh
amazing.
yeah, I think I could probably get them all done by the end of this month.
Resident Evil Village
Because
is
I'm going to
great.
be starting with 2. I already beat last year. We did 1, 0, and then 2, and then we'll play 2 again with the second character. So we played Leon first, then we'll play Claire second, and
Nice.
then we'll do 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 because the games are not actually that long. 3 is only like 5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
but
really short.
I watched the whole video about how buggy 3 was. So Maniacs, we talked about
Yeah,
this.
3 wasn't very
What episode
Yeah.
30 or something like that, and
Oh,
very
again.
similar to Super Mario Brothers 2 in America. It was a lapse in communication with the Japanese developers. Are you familiar with this, Classy Beard?
Yeah.
So-
It saddened me that they seem to take 3, gut it, and give us the bare bones of what 3 was.
You
It's
know
a
what
little-
No. Correction. What
Right.
happened was they were making 3 and they saw this new system coming out. It's like, oh, sweet. We're going to make 3 for the PS2. And Sony was like, nope, you owe us a 3rd numbered Resident Evil for the PlayStation. And they're already well into production of Resident Evil 3. And they had to take all their materials and storylines and dump it into Resident Evil 2 engine and make a story and throw it out the door. And they're like, there, assholes! That's not what we wanted. And then that's why the time between Resident Evil 3 and Code Veronica was so short. Because they were already working on Code Veronica. That's what they wanted Resident Evil 3 to be. So when I'm saying that...
And it was excellent.
And Code Veronica was excellent, and Resident Evil 3 was a little buggy and had some non-progs. There are
Yeah.
several parts in the game where if you save at the wrong part, you're dead and you can't get out, which
Yeah.
happened to me. But this is not the first time something like that happened. With Super Mario Brothers 2, they delivered a game to America and did test subjects, and American kids couldn't beat it.
Yeah,
And they
because
were like, "This is too hard. Make a
why?
different game."
Because after Mario Brothers got released over there, they released several different versions of it, including an arcade version, which is meant to like eat your quarters.
Yeah.
So that American version that we got was just a port of the arcade version, more or less, and it still had like that quarter eating factor to it.
Well, here's another thing. Super Mario Brothers 2, specifically the one they proposed to us, got completely canned. We didn't see it for a decade.
Yeah.
And they had to take another NES game that was about flying carpets and an Arabian
Doki Doki Island.
Doki Doki Island, and they had to reskin it and make it a Mario game. That's not a real Mario game. They made it one,
which is crazy to me because that might still be my favorite Mario game. Super Mario
and it's crazy. It's so bananas. And then we finally got quote unquote the lost levels. That's Mario 2.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. It's fucked up.
Yeah,
it's really
like I
hard.
said, like a lot of it is a port of the arcade version, which was meant to eat your quarters. So,
but Japanese kids figured it out. There was no complaints in Japan. They were just like, "Oh, this is just difficult."
Well, it's more it's more like in the vein of if you play like those old Atari games and like they're impossible. You're not supposed to be able to beat them because back then every game still had that same like arcade mentality. It's supposed to.
Like X-Men Arcade.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Or like Ninja Turtles or something. Like it's supposed to kill you and take your quarters. You're not ever supposed to get good at it, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, heck.
Heck. Heck and heck.
We'll stay peeled for that. Drop your socials and kick it off to another host.
Yeah. You can. I'm on Classy Beard at Twitch and Classy Beard TV on Twitter. That's where I'm at.
Nice.
And then kick it to somebody. I don't care. Kick it to Foo. Foo, what are you playing this week?
She's playing Bark at the Puppy, Chase the Squirrels, and not see the ball very well, but catch treats much better than balls.
Oh.
Yes.
So use your nose. You can sniff it.
Yeah, she's not good at fetch anymore because her eyesight's going, but she's really good at catching treats. So I think she's like nearsighted and not farsighted. But
doggy
she's
glasses.
Well,
doggy googles.
She's like Daredevil.
I don't even know how old my dog is anymore. 11. Okay.
Nice.
Who's a good little girl? And then Rosie, her goal for the week is to her bald spot to heal. She has a bald spot right above her eyebrow.
Oh.
We don't know if she got if another dog got her on the face while playing or if she ran into something. But she's got a little bald spot.
She was just looking at you like, "Are you talking about me right now?" She was just looking at you.
What? Excuse me.
And while we're at it, Sage Bell, closing statements and socials, please and thank you.
Stay safe. Remember, if you're going out and and she noodled. If you are gonna go out and do grocery shopping or whatever in person, change your clothes afterwards. Do not continue wearing anything that you wore out in public because it could still have the shit on it.
Boil it is what you're saying, basically. Go home and boil your clothes.
I went thrift shopping with one of my buddies over the weekend, and I just completely took everything off, made sure the shoes stayed at the front door, put all the clothes in the washer.
Took everything off, you said.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I go to the store naked. You don't? Weird.
No, you take it off when you come home.
Yeah, you put on the clothes when you come home. Yeah.
Pixar, it didn't happen. I don't believe you.
You can watch me on Thursdays at 7 p.m. With Rogue, unless he has a headache, and then I will have impromptu games at that
with
time.
Stotty.
Yeah, usually with Stotts. So Stotts and I will play on Thursdays.
Nice.
Actually, he does play with us when I'm playing with Rogue.
Nice.
So, yeah, for playing.
All right, kick it to someone.
Slapping it down.
Slap it a bass. Slap it a bass.
Me.
Slapping it down to the drummer.
Maniacs, I am Loud and Brown at Loud and Brown on Twitter and Instagram. I am Gross Steph with a PH on Twitch and PS4. Come at me if you want to die at fighting games. Or if I'm playing shooters, you will win. I am so bad. So bad.
You guys play support though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. My closing statements are I didn't mention this, so my closing statements is my announcement. This is Big Brain Jones over here. I put in a terabyte hard drive into my MacBook Pro, and I had so many friends tell me, "Oh, you can't replace stuff. They glued everything to the motherboard, and it's dangerous. You should just get a new laptop or go full PC." I spent $160 on a card. Oh, 200, 180, whatever. It was under 200 for a new card. Bought some little screwdrivers. Did it myself.
Wait, it was
Didn't
160 for the hard drive?
Yeah.
For
Nice.
a terabyte?
Yeah.
What'd you get? You got a Samsung?
Oh, so the thing is, it's proprietary now.
Oh,
So
okay.
you have you can buy third party ones, but everybody on the reviews are like, it does work, but you need some like third party apps to like format it and make sure it works on the MacBook.
Yuck.
Like
Okay,
shenanigans, right? And
Yeah.
I was like, I want to be big brain, but not humongous brain. I was very, very happy I was able to do it.
Brain.
Nice.
The kit that I got had all the good tools. They had all the nylon pry tools, which I really needed this time because they're
Nice.
not glued, but they're pretty snug. Like,
Hmm.
I switched out the hard drive and RAM on my last MacBook, and it was like one finger like installations. Like, boop, there goes the RAM. Boop, there's the hard. It was so easy. This one took a little bit of elbow moving. So everybody, if you can, you do not need Mac. You do not need consoles. PCs are much easier. However, having a Mac doesn't mean you can't upgrade. You could absolutely upgrade. I am the dumbest tech person on this podcast, and I was able to do it several times. Several times I fixed things on my own PC and laptop. DIY. Drink responsibly, but also drink dangerously. And closing statements. And give us our outro if you can. The Saverings ... Don't forget all of the things that we stream on. I love you.
That's a lot of pressure. You guys are
You
gonna have to
got
help
this.
me out.
Whatever. You might have been doing this podcast for maybe a couple months.
Maybe just a little bit. What's up, everyone? Just hit us up on Steam. Everybody stay safe out there. It's getting a little bit better, but maybe not where you're at. Just be safe. Just keep that head on a swivel.
Hashtag Florida.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to our sponsor once again. Good to see you guys making power moves too. It's good to see you guys up in the gaming spot. Shout out to Voodoo Ranger.
Woo!
Everybody, we got Star Wars Squadrons coming out in 3 days. So if you want to
Wait,
what's up?
Saverings, can you roll that Play-Doh snake for me
Yeah,
when you say that?
Yeah. So we got the Star Wars Squadron coming out in 3 days. That snuck up on me. Remember when that game got announced? Like
We were talking all about it. We
Yeah,
wouldn't shut up. And then we haven't brought it up in like a month, 2 months.
Yeah, and we were like, "Oh man, it's all the way in October." That shit comes out in 3 days. That shit was fast.
Yep.
So
there might have been some Americans dying and justices being overturned over the time. That might have distracted us just a little bit.
yeah, there might have been some things going on outside. Like maybe a double quarantine for people on the West Coast in a lot of cases. We had a double quarantine going on up here. So yes, there's been a lot of distractions. So this is good to see a good distraction coming out here in a couple of days. Hopefully the gameplay itself is solid. I'm not really expecting too much from the other things because it could be Disney Star Wars shenanigans. But as long as the dogfighting and stuff is good, I hopefully, come on, just give us this. Just give us this thing, a good Star Wars game. I will add it to the Steam group available games that we play if you guys want to get in some dogfighting. It's also crossplay, so it doesn't matter if you get it on a PlayStation, an Xbox, or PC. We can all play it together.
That's going to be killer because that was a big selling point for Warzone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so get ready to get wrecked. You might get wrecked because I'm gonna be going the full aesthetic with the VR and the full flight stick setup. So
only if you do cosplay or it doesn't count.
Yeah, I should go get like an X-wing fighter pilot or a TIE
fighter. The orange suit. Hey, our homie Haunted's got one.
Hey, yeah. So maybe
she could be all about it.
I'll get like the black gloves and all that stuff. So anyway, hit us up. That'll probably be starting Friday. I'll probably get it day one. I still have my EA Play. I kept it for just this, so I'm gonna check it out on EA Play, and if it's good, then I'll just go ahead and buy it.
Nice.
So hit us up in all the normal places. What we got? We got our Facebook, Saltier Podcast. We got the YouTube, Saltier Podcast. We got Where else are we at? We got the Instagram, which is
Instagram and Twitter is salt_tier pod.
tier pod. And then what was the one that was salt.tier pod? Like, what was that one?
Oh,
Hit us
I
up on the
don't know.
SoundCloud. Any place that you can listen to podcasts, we're basically there. We got the SoundClouds. We got the not the Stitcher. Yeah, we're on Stitcher, aren't we? We got
yeah,
the
probably.
what
Google
else?
Play,
Google Play,
iTunes,
iTunes,
MySpace,
I thought they got rid of Google Play.
Christian Mingle. Maybe we did.
Christian Mingle. We're big on Classy Beard. You have no idea.
Tinder,
we-
match.
We got
Yeah.
a bunch of bumps on Grinder after Vince did an episode. That was
Nice.
weird.
Oh,
Nice. So hit us up in all the places where you would normally find your podcast. Be sure to rate us up and like us there and all the places because it definitely does help. Check us out on our Facebook too, because that's where you'll probably get us with the most engagement. We post our stories and little newsy bits on there all the time. So if you want to see a general idea of what we're thinking about or talking about gaming wise, take a look there. Thanks again to our guest, Classy Beard. Check him out on Twitch with all of his things. We're gonna have to play something, man. We're gonna have to play something. Dude, I have one of those. Where'd you get that? From another castle?
No, I got this from a friend at Soba. He made me
Nice.
these skins.
Nice.
Soma Pills, I think is what his name is. Made me one of these.
I have a Creeper, Mega Man, and the Yellow Castle Crasher guy.
Oh,
Nice.
nice. That's awesome.
Yep. So thank you for tuning in. Lana Brown, you want the final word or should I shut it down?
This has been a production of the Soundcasting Network, brought to you by Voodoo Ranger IPA, #LiveRangerously. Thank you kindly.